Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. I'd like to welcome you back to another episode of the Plethora Show with yours truly, Alex. And I'm here with my friend.
Magic finger. I totally just burped into the mic. I'm sorry. I just ruined. You were
Come
doing.
on,
I'm
bro.
sorry.
I'm
You were
trying to
doing
be
a.
classy
You were
here.
doing a whole bit. I was just brain dead, staring, burped into the mic. I'm sorry.
I had
Anyway,
my tea and everything. I had a nice London fog.
I'm sorry. Your life is all fancy. Mine is in hell. My house is in shambles. Boxes are literally everywhere. My walls are bare. I have holes everywhere. It's just,
If
God.
you saw anything outside of this square, you wouldn't be saying that, bro. I have a very particular square of clean area.
Really? Yeah. That's what I try to do. That's what I try to do for my videos too. It's like, no, the other house could look like shit, not my videos. But honestly, I'm kind of excited to be moving because I,
Yeah?
I really think I want a new setup. I have a window here. I don't like it. I feel like it fucks with my lighting. The next
Yeah.
setup, I think my next room, because I'm gonna be there for 3 years, so I think I'm gonna do padding on the walls and all that shit. Like
Oh,
get
fancy.
really into it with the audio sounding. And then I think this is a good camera. I just think it could be a little bit better. I can get a better one. But anyways,
Yeah, I mean, it's solid.
yeah. But anyway, so yeah, that's the big thing that we've been doing is the move this week. Sorry, we kind of just started talking. But hello everybody, welcome back to the Plethora Show.
Yeah,
Thank y'all
welcome
so
to the
much.
show.
Derrinder's not here. Actually, we need to mention that he is busy working. He's out wrestling fucking deer apparently, so they can. Here,
Casual,
hold
casual
on.
weekend for Derringer.
Derringer left me a script to read. Let's talk about what he's doing this week for y'all. This is what he's. I'll just send you what he texted us. He said, "Hey brothers, I'm not gonna be able to. Sorry. Hey brothers, I'm not going to be able to be on the podcast this weekend. I'm going on a work trip to South Texas Friday. Hold on, I gotta reread this again, bro.
You can't read.
I'm so illiterate. Okay. Okay. Hey brothers.
Illiterate.
Hey brothers, I'm not gonna be able to.
All right, shut up, shut up. I have the same
Dude,
text.
you read it.
Shut up.
God, fuck.
I have the exact same text.
It's just the screen. I just can't. When it's on paper,
Alright.
I can read.
Hey, bro, there's a... No, I'm kidding. Okay, for real this time. For real this time. Hey, brothers, I'm not going to be able to go on the podcast this weekend. I'm going on a work trip to South Texas Friday through Monday to go capture some deer to test for diseases. Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
that is
Said
pretty
they're
crazy.
shot with a net gun by someone out of a helicopter, like in a spy movie.
That's sick,
Then I go out and retrieve them with an ATV.
dude. That's sick, bro. He's like exterminating all the deer, dude.
He's going wild, bro.
Just to be clear, he is helping the deer. He's not just fucking.
He is helping the deer. He's not just fucking.
Yeah.
He's not just knitting them and killing them,
He's got to see what diseases they got to help our ecosystems.
So yeah, Alex, do you want to get into how your week was, maybe, or what?
Yeah, pretty calm week. Didn't really do much. Just tried to make it through the week to the weekend. I mean, casual, go to work, come home, watch some basketball. I actually went and got PlayStation Plus back so I could.
Really?
Yeah, I wanted to play some 2K online. You know, all the guys, Isaac, Devin, and them, they're playing online right now, and I was like, I play 2K nearly every day offline.
Yeah.
I should grow up and play online.
Well, you got PS Plus again now, so maybe we could play
Yeah,
together
yeah.
sometime. I mean, I have the new Black Ops 6. I don't know if you're gonna end up getting that, but
Oh, remember the first podcast we had? Our very first podcast?
hey.
I was excited for it. You said, nah, garbage. I don't
Hey,
care
bro.
about Omni
Hey,
movement.
hey.
I don't care about Black Ops at all. And then I was like, I'm super
You know
hyped.
what?
Now look who has the game and who doesn't.
I gotta say it. I was wrong about the new Black Ops 6. I will say it. I'll admit it. I will not say it. I will say it's not perfect. The maps are fucking god awful. Literally, somebody's child made those maps. I don't know.
Okay, I did see like a developer, like he said there was supposed to be like some classic 3-lane maps like in the older
Dude.
ones. And apparently the maps don't even have like distinguishable lanes.
They don't.
So
A lot. I don't think any of them do. They made the worst map in the history of maps. Well, there's two that are tied for the worst for me. It's Red Card and Babylon. They're just awful. Babylon is just... imagine there's a square that's supposed to be in the center. It is in the center, but like... It's just awful. I don't know how to explain it. It's not like Shipment and like Stakeout. Like those are good maps. They're just
Yeah.
they're there for the chaos. Babylon is like a medium-sized map with just like god awful like coverage. I really don't know how to explain it. It's just horrible. But I gotta say, the Omni movement is awesome. They fucking.
I've seen some crazy clips
Dude,
with that.
I gotta
man.
say, man, that's this Call of Duty, the handling, and it is the cleanest it has felt. Black Ops 3 was sick, had sick ass movement. I think Advanced Warfare had some sick ass movement. But this one, man, I would trade those jetpacks and everything for a dive that I could just like, as in the air, I could just spin around. Dude, it is.
That's insane.
Or you can like lay down in a corner with your legs out now like this, or like you could dive backwards and jump. Like it's just. The Omni movement was by far, I think, the best thing in Black Ops 6.
That's pretty sick. I was just gonna continue with my week.
Oh
though.
yeah, go ahead. We don't need to talk about Black Ops.
Yeah. Very calm week, like I was saying, and I felt like I had to be representative of that for this podcast. I got my robe on. It's looking pretty. It's kind of chilly out here, pretty gray outside. I have my tea. It's just a very cozy type of day.
I don't drink teas like at all.
I love tea.
I don't know. Like the only tea I drink is sweet tea. What even is like sweet tea? Is that just like what leaf is that?
It's a black tea, just heavily sweetened.
Okay, that's what I figured. But like I don't drink. I don't think I really gave them a chance. All these different types of teas and stuff. But usually I don't like them. Usually I have this menthol. It feels like I'm drinking a cigarette sometimes. Like when I'm drinking.
See, so I like black teas. You got Earl Grey, Lady Grey, Constant Comment, stuff like that.
Okay.
And my favorite's Lady Grey. It's a special blend of Earl Grey by this tea company called Twinings, and it's my favorite. It's a black tea, which means it's gonna have a bit of a more bitter flavor. But it also has bergamot and orange peel in it, right?
Okay.
So you get like a nice citrus zesty flavor with the bergamot kind of uplifts it. It's super nice. And what I got right here, this is called the London Fog. It's steamed milk, and then they put a tea bag in there, and only in the steamed milk. There's no water or anything.
Oh, you went to the store and got that?
Or like my girlfriend works at a.
Oh.
She works at a coffee shop now.
Oh, okay. I do love coffee though. I fuck with coffee heavy.
Me too.
I like coffee because it's useful too, because it helps you shit. I don't know. It's a tool. I like coffee because it does two things. It helps you shit and it helps you stay awake. Same thing with nicotine. I don't know why I'm talking about shitting, but anyways. What else do you do this week?
Not anything. Work, man. Just work.
Yeah. This week, nothing really happened. There wasn't anything fancy happening this week.
No, calm week. Calm week for sure. I get 2 days off for Thanksgiving. I'm super hyped. I get Thursday and Friday off.
That's sick.
So I'm super excited for that.
Yeah. I gotta say, in the military, you get a lot more days off than you'd think. But also, when you work, you're probably going to be working for a lot longer.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't want the days on in the military. Yeah. I'd much rather have the days off, less days off, working an 8 to 5.
Yeah, I gotta say, like every national holiday, you get like a 96, which is just 4 days, a 4-day weekend, and that's cool. It's great. I mean, you get those 4 days off, but I mean, you go back to work and you hate what you do. I mean, is that really a fair trade? I guess, but it is cool. I think the Marine Corps does give you a fair enough time off, and they give you a lot. You get a lot of leave days. You get, I think, what is it? I think it's 2.5 or 3 or something like that, or it may go up every month. So
that's pretty good.
Yeah, you accumulate those every month. But the issue is, if you're in a Victor unit, you only really use them in Christmas and like post-deployment, pre-deployment leave. So it's really like.
Can you bank those?
Yeah, so you could sell them. So there's a limit you can have. I think some people, is it 90 or 60 or is it higher? But it used to be like, I know some dudes that had like fuck ton of leave days and they just sell them and the dudes just never take leave. I don't know. It's some people, a lot of the dudes that have a lot of leave days is like their family, they were born and raised here in California. So it's a fucking cheat code, dude. Like I knew one dude, he took terminal for like 3 months. He got paid for 3 months because he saved up like 3 months worth of leave, I think, and then he took
insane.
it. Yeah, and then dude, he came back and he left, was gone for 3 months, came back, and I don't know. He grabbed his papers. Most people grab some. What they do is in the Marine Corps, when you get out, you have to grab your GD-214. So sometimes people will grab. A lot of people grab it first, and then they just leave, and then they take all their leave, and then they just never come back. But they're technically still in the Marine Corps, but they're just on leave, and then they get out. But what I did, since I was going to be back in California anyways, I took my leave, then I came back and grabbed my DD-214. Or why we're talking about that.
One more thing, and then I'll pass it off to you, Colby. What do you think about samurais? Like, genuinely, how do you feel about samurai?
I think they're sick. I don't know. I think when a good samurai movie's done well, I think the lore behind samurais is super sick.
Yeah, so recently I was replaying Ghost of Tsushima. I decided I'm gonna write a samurai book,
Okay.
and I that's not my culture. I don't want to be a super like generic like screwed up guy just ripping the cool parts from the culture. So I went in and I read a couple books about what it's like to be a samurai. These older books.
Really?
Yeah, one was called Hagakure. That one was pretty cool. It's supposed to be more like a spiritual guide for
Okay.
samurai. So that one, let me look. That one came out in 1716. And then another one I read was Bushido, which is the samurai code. That one came out in 1899. It looks over samurai culture and ideology, and so I took everything I got from that. Super interesting reads for sure. It's interesting how religious samurai were. I had no clue.
Mm.
Um, they were very religious,
They're more like
and
ancestral religion, or is that China?
they Buddhism was
Oh,
pretty big for them, and finding Zen and stuff like
I
that.
just made a racist comment. I'm sorry.
No,
Or maybe it was just
no, you're right. I mean, it is ancestral, um, but it's really interesting, and a lot of stuff that they did was I a lot of it was like I live to serve the guy above me,
okay.
which was super interesting because I didn't, you see them portrayed in media and they're like, "Oh, I'm super cool, I'm this and that."
Yeah.
They were kind of just soldiers. They
Really.
obviously had a lot more power. The soldier class today can come out of the military and, go homeless. That wasn't the case with these guys.
Really.
Yeah, they were in the sense of hierarchy in the military. Yeah, they were just like our soldiers today, like you were. And
Okay. So they were
but
like
in
just
the
like a bunch of
sense,
corporals and stuff.
yeah, in the sense of social hierarchy, samurai were right up here, man.
Really.
They were like there was one above them, and it's interesting. You
So
had
it
like the
was.
daimyo.
So it's kind of like the Marine. Oh, I'm not gonna say like samurais like the Marine Corps, but it just like is more of the.
They are.
It's
I
like more of
mean,
like an elite branch of like military service.
yeah, yeah, and like
Okay, that's cool. I thought it was more like a the way. So I don't really know anything about samurais. I think I know like the basic stuff. Like they have swords and katanas and like that's sick, and they have like a lot about honor. But like I don't really know the deep culture and like what really were they used for in Japanese warfare.
they were everything, man.
Like
They
there's like a like a
they
Leatherman.
were they were your army. So, but the
How many
thing
were
is, like,
there?
a lot. There were different clans that fell under different different daimyos that fell under the shogun, which is like the top guy, and like
Okay,
they were all part of
dude.
Japan's shogunate,
I,
but
I
there
gotta
were
I gotta say the word shogun is like probably one of the coolest words for boss ever.
oh
My
yeah.
name I'm Shogun Griffin. Like that's such a sorry. I just think that's such a sick word.
No, you're cool. See, and it's interesting because I didn't read Shogun during my studies for this book. I read Shogun when my mom bought it at a garage sale when I was 13.
Okay.
And it's funny because I just read it and it didn't stick with me too much. I was young and it was written in a way that wasn't particularly awesome to read, but I read it
Hmm.
and I enjoyed it. So I'm probably gonna have to give that one another read. But yeah, it's samurai culture, man. It's insane. So what I did, this new book, it's written. I wrote it already.
Really?
It's just about ready to send to press.
Okay.
So the story is we have a young man who he's a samurai in
Okay.
modern day. In this instance, it's the samurai never dissolved. They
Hmm.
simply expanded quietly, but they don't try to hide it either. They're not secret. So you have the shogun of North America, the shogun of South America.
Hmm.
These families, they didn't stop growing. I mean,
Okay.
these clans, the families and their friends, they didn't just stop when, they stopped doing samurai stuff. Like they grew. And in my book, that followed them. They
Okay.
they stayed samurai wherever they were, and they kind of interacted more with each other than with the general world. So,
Does your book maybe explain? Because so I don't as so say if I were to read your book, I don't know a lot about
mhm.
samurais, but maybe it's just a book that interests me. A question I would have, maybe you answer it in your book, and you could just say that if that's the answer. Um, but samurai is kind of like they're gone, I think now, or there might be. I don't know. Are there still samurais around today? They're definitely not as
No,
prominent as what
no,
it sounds like in your book. So like my
no.
question is, because clearly something in history happened where samurais are not really with us today anymore. So I'm just like in your book, does it maybe like it doesn't have to it doesn't have to clearly say like, oh, in real world like samurais are this, but in this world are that. Does it say? Does it kind of like not what's the word like
So it
glaze
doesn't.
over it?
It kind of ignores the abolishing of feudalism. That's what
Okay.
happened. The system that samurais were part of was abolished in like the late 1800s.
Okay.
Um, it doesn't acknowledge that to an extent. It does the opposite. It states that this is what happened back then. These families, they moved to other places. They grew just as any, prominent family would.
Yeah.
And they found homes, branches of these families found homes all across the world. And we're following one guy. His name is Kira Ishihara, right?
That's a cool
And
name.
he's like 18, 19. I'm not sure. It wasn't that important. I specify it at some point in the book, but
Okay.
he's a young man for sure. Uh, and his father was killed, and it was just him and his grandfather now. And his grandfather is the head of Clan Ishihara,
Okay.
and right now he's hunting down the clan that raided the Ishihara clan to kill every last one of them to get to the head of their clan
Oh wow.
because they dishonored him. They killed his father. Now he has to go his whole life without a father, and he wants his revenge.
You know, I've this is a different game. It's about karate, but
Hmm.
there's a game called Shifu. That what time did I talk to you about this a little bit?
Yeah, I've been interested in that game for
Yeah,
so long,
kind of
man.
this. He's not raised by his grandfather, but it's the same like a kind of like a vengeful thing, and it just with some Asian culture in the background. I haven't finished that game. I got busy on until dawn, but really good.
So
Sorry, I
here's
don't
the
mean to.
twist. You're
Sorry, I
good.
did
You're
not
good.
mean to take away your book. I'm sorry.
You're all right. You're all right. So here's the twist that makes it the big thing, He finds out that his father's killer wasn't who he thought it was. The person who killed his father was his grandpa.
Oh, don't explain anymore because now I want to know.
Yeah, no, that's all.
Now I want
That's
to.
all you get to
Okay,
to learn anymore. You gotta read the book. It's another installment in my Streetlight Heroes series.
that's cool.
Um, I think this one's probably my favorite one I've written. I got so deep into the culture, and I read so much about sword techniques and stuff like that, and
Yeah,
this one has some good twists. I'll tell you right now, the theme of this book is family and
okay,
how they can treat you, good or bad.
makes
It's called The
sense.
Samurai Betrayed. Should be coming soon.
Oh, you haven't told the name of the book in the entire time, have you?
Yeah.
No, I didn't even know. Okay, Samurai Betrayed. I will.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm definitely gonna be on the lookout for it, and
Let me give you a sneak peek of this cover real quick.
that's pretty cool. I can't really make out what's in the middle, but it's pretty cool.
It's a fish. It's a koi
Okay,
fish.
okay, okay.
It's a dock and a koi fish.
Yeah, it's just the camera through a camera.
Yeah.
The screen through a
Yeah.
screen through a screen
Stupid.
is kind of. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I wanted to tell you guys about that. I'm really excited about this one, and it amazing fun story to write.
Dude,
I hope you guys like it.
did the Plethora show help the sales of the last book or no?
Not at all. No.
Okay, I'm gonna.
No.
It's y'all's fault. It's y'all's fault. I don't know. It's just Alex's dreams are failing because of y'all. No. If you want his dreams to be better, you could go buy his book.
See, all my sales came from Facebook or, just family.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
No, that's how.
nobody wants to
it's a-
support a young person of color.
It's okay. I also feel the struggle of no one watching my shit.
Hey, you got to make content for people to find the content. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm at. And I just love writing.
Yeah, I'm almost.
Buy it, don't buy it.
Yeah, I'm almost
But
at my.
buy-
I'm almost at my 100th video, dude.
That's awesome, man. You've been putting in crazy work.
I have been. I think this one's gonna be like 87, something like that. The reason why I stress so much about 100 videos. I don't know. You want to talk more about your book before I dive into what I'm
No,
doing?
no.
So,
we're good.
The reason
we're
why
done.
I stress about 100 videos is I've had days where I just wanted to give up. And I'm just like, dude, I don't, there's no point of me making this video anymore. Like, no one's going to fucking watch it. But I just keep going, I guess. I don't know. I just keep doing it. I sit there and I'll do days like, I don't feel like editing this shit. Because, I mean, I edit videos. Each video takes like anywhere from 3 to 4 hours. But, I mean,
Hear you, man.
well, it could be longer. But, it's just disappointing. But hopefully one day it'll pay off. But the way I think of it is, the way I think of, like, maybe you could think of this as your book too. The way I think of every video, every TikTok I make is this is a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
And I really think it's all luck. That's all it is. Because I think everybody has a personality that people want to listen to. It's just who gets the attention. And so I'm just trying to go by this thing. It's like the more I put out, the more of a chance that I have.
See, for me, I think I bring the same attitude to the Plethora show as well.
Okay.
It's something I want to do, borderline something I need to do. I need to write. I need to, have a good time with you and just happen to record. It's just something it's part of my creative outlet, and I need to have creative output, or else my life is going to be boring and I'm going to explode. So
Yeah.
I would love to make a living off writing. I would love it so much, but I'm not going to be sad if that doesn't work out. I'm going to keep writing because I love writing, and I'll put my stuff out there forever, always at a good price point. Whoever wants to read it can. If you can't afford it, if you somehow can't afford it, tell me you can't afford it. I'll send you a copy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it's about for me. I love making money off of writing. I do, but that's not the main goal.
That's how it is for me too with these videos. It's like I'm not really. I don't want the money. It's more about I just want my life. I want to be able to create things and people to enjoy them.
I want people to look at the stuff I make the way I look at stuff that I enjoy from other creators, like,
Yeah.
because there's books that have like changed my life, helped me when I was down. I want to be that for people. And with the Plethora show, there's shows that get me locked in, make me laugh, make me reminisce. I just want to be that for somebody. Yeah, let's get into your week, Colby.
So I'll just bring up the ball first because it's probably my least favorite. Well, no. So I went to the ball this week. It was fine. Normal ball. What I got to say, though, is if you're a young Marine going to the ball, or your date's going to the ball, or you're bringing somebody, or you're going to the ball and you're the guest, word of advice, it's extremely disrespectful, I think, to talk during the ceremony. Like, yes, you're supposed to, you can go up there.
What is the ceremony?
So the ceremony, it opens up, it always opens up the Commandant's message, I think, first. But basically, the Commandant's message is a video, and they come out with one every year. It's just a moto video. You could look it up if you wanted to. It's just to motivate the Marines, and they play it in the beginning. And yeah, all the Marines. It's supposed to be really loud. That's a ball. That's what it is. It's like everyone's barking and like banging their hands on the table. Like and it's like thousands of people in this one room. Like that's the point of it. That's great. And then they move on to where it's like you have the key speaker come out, or they do like they bring out colors, which is like the flag, the American flag, and then they retire the colors, and then they do the whole cutting of the cake ceremony, and then they do it where it's like the oldest Marine, which is he isn't really a Marine anymore. He's like usually some like 90-year-old man, and ours was like some 90-year-old like brigadier general. And he was in charge of all the recruit training, so like all of us were probably once his recruit at one point. But
Nice.
it was that dude, and then they had like the youngest Marine, and he was born in like 2006. I was like, oh my god,
That's crazy.
yeah. I didn't soup baby, dude. Yeah, and it just, and then they had I think it's called. I think there. I was the adjutant talking. Maybe no, the adjutant always. No, that wasn't the adjutant. I'm sorry. They had their speaker. He was giving a speech about like what the birthday means to him, and like all these motherfuckers just yip yap and just everyone's just fucking talking about what? What are y'all talking about? No, this dude's up here. Like, what are you here for? Like, the ceremony takes like at most an hour. Just shut up. I mean, scream when you're supposed to scream. Don't get me wrong, but like, it's just. Like, imagine, like, you try to give a speech and everyone's just, oh, my God, what are you doing? Yeah, oh, my God. The line for the drinks are so fucking long. Like,
Obviously, that sucks, but the way I see it is, like, it's like a lunchroom. There's, like, so many people. There's bound to be some annoying people in there.
I know that.
But, yeah, it still sucks. It sucks big time.
You're the fucking Marine Corps ball, bro. And if you're a civilian, you probably haven't gone to one before. And I don't know. I was just looking around. I'm just like, and finally someone just screamed, "Shut the fuck up!" Or like, like, because it's just pissing me off. Like you got the dude up here, and what really pissed me off is they were kept on talking when they were talking about that old guy, the old brigadier general. I mean, this dude's 98. This dude needs like 3 people to help him walk, but he's still getting up there and still being a part of the ceremony because of the Marines. And it's just like we're all just talking while we're learning about this guy, and I'm just like. I want to like blow this room up or something right now. Y'all pissing me off so much. And I'm not trying to say like you can't be loud at the ball. Like, that's the point. The point is just to be loud, but don't be fucking disrespectful. You know?
Yeah. Pay attention.
I'm not going to tell people to not sit there and like don't fight at the ball. That always happens. There's always fights at the ball. But I mean, like, behave yourself for like the first hour, just out of respect for everyone that's died for the country and died in your camis and died in that's worn your dress blues. You know. Sorry, that's all I wanted to really say about the ball. The ball was fun. It was the same. The ball is usually the same thing every year. Just a point, but it's fun. I didn't stay. I'm not a huge drinker anymore. Ever since I got out, I don't know why. I just can't really drink, so I didn't really stay. I had like 2 beers. I didn't really enjoy, but
Yeah.
yeah. What else did I do? More interesting things. So I'm gonna bring up. I watched 2 movies this weekend. The first one I'm gonna bring up, and the next one I care about a lot. I'm going to talk about Wreck-It Ralph first, because I watched that last night. I told Cameron, I was like, you know what movie people, like, that's kind of slept on? It's fucking Wreck-It Ralph, dude. I watched it again. Personally, you may disagree with me. If we were to do a tier list, and it was on there for, like, Pixar movies, I know it's not I don't think it's a Pixar movie. It's a Disney
I think it's
movie.
just Disney animation.
Yeah, so I don't think it was in one of the, I think we might have rated Pixar movie, this just wasn't in there. But if that movie was to be included with Pixar movies, I would put it up there personally with like Monsters Inc. and Finding Nemo.
100%.
I think it's a great movie.
It does exactly what it wants to, man, and
it's so funny. And dude, I mean, people don't think it's a cry. It's Wreck-It Ralph, but dude, I cried last night watching that movie, dude.
Oh, I know when you cried. I know exactly when you cried.
Oh my, yeah.
When he breaks the go-kart.
No, I cried whenever he was like, "There's no one I'd rather be than me," and he's like, he's about to kill him.
Oh, when he's dude, like chills. In the Mentos and the
yes, dude. And no one talks about the twists and the plot twists. There's like 5 plot twists. Well, there's like 2 huge ones. One of them is that Turbo is the king, and then the other one,
Vanellope
is the princess. And like, I'm just like, there's plot twists in it. There's action. There's like these bug characters. There's these funny characters.
Dude, the fact that we came up with 2 different crying moments, that's pretty huge.
Two separate crying moments in a movie. Like, I can't even get 5 minutes of a movie that I enjoy these days sometimes. Like, God. And I think Wreck-It Ralph did not get the praise it did. The second one, though, I think it's horrible. I only watched it once, and I think for a reason. I wasn't really impressed. But I think they're trying to hide that movie. But I mean, God Almighty, Wreck-It Ralph was such a beautiful movie for me yesterday. I just like, and the thing is, it's such a, you don't think of how unique it is. It's about
it's so unique.
arcade characters, and like they travel through the plugs. Like that's a great idea. And they have like when they get unplugged, they go
terminal?
home. They get unplugged and they go homeless. And like, and I love in the end where it's like they all just everyone's game hopping and everyone's just like they all have their own games, like their own home, but and like the kids don't mind playing the games with like I don't know other characters in
and I
it.
mean, Ralph uses all the mountain of bricks he sleeps on. He gives everybody homes.
Yeah,
It's incredible. It's such a great movie. It doesn't waste a minute of runtime. There's
No.
nothing where you're like, "Oh, this is stupid. Why would they even include this?"
Yeah.
It doesn't waste a second.
It's crazy. It's crazy because it feels like that, but it is a longer runtime of a movie. It's like I think it's 2 hours. I think it's a little bit shorter, but
Really?
like, it's pretty long. I mean, it's a longer movie. I think it's not.
I think most Disney movies go for like the 90-minute mark,
yeah, I think it's like an
hour
hour
and a half.
I think it's like an hour 45. But
Okay.
I don't know. The game. I mean, the movie it was just great to watch. I remember just telling Cameron like, "What? I'm watching fucking cinema right now, dude. Like,
Yeah, man.
literal cinema." And the end, dude. Oh my, dude. The end scene, the very last scene, is like one of the best scenes. It's like every day when they pick me up and they throw me off the building, they raise me just high enough where I could see all the people playing Vanellope's character. And then he says something at the end where it's just like, it gives you like chills, bro. I'm getting chills just thinking about it. God. And the crazy thing is that's John C. fucking Riley, dude.
Yeah.
that's the dude from Step Brothers fucking making me cry. Oh, dude. So that movie was a really great movie. I'm glad we're on the same page with Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh,
I
100%.
had to come back and say that. So, this next movie I watched, this is completely different vibes. Okay?
Tell me about it.
This is a heavy movie. This is a very, very heavy movie. Do not watch this movie if you do not have the stomach for some heavier topics. This movie is called Madgod. Okay? This movie took 30 years to make. It's stop motion, not completely stop motion, but most of the movie is stop motion. It's weird because it does some of it's stop motion, and then some of it's done with like actors, and then some of it's done with like CGI. So it's like a mix. It's not like
It's like a mixed media type thing.
yeah, it's not going for one specific thing. I thought it was at first. I thought it was gonna be all stop motion, but it wasn't. So basically, there's no dialogue in the movie besides like some or like or somebody screaming in pain. The only thing that says anything is this one little creature that's like multicolored, and it says "Oh no" when it's like friend gets squished by some demon thing. That's it. So the movie is about hell. It's about this man's version. I forgot what this dude's name. I think it's Paul Tidbit. That's the guy's name. It's about his version of hell. So the game, it doesn't really explain anything to you, but I will tell you, I've never felt more uncomfortable and more like amazed by a movie at the same time. I mean, I'm watching some horrific things. Like I'm watching these animals get like, the second something's born, it's killed, and something's doing work and it just randomly gets run over. It's just like it's just chaos constantly. And there's different sections of this hell where it's like one part's at constant war with each other, and then one part's about like the corporate greed, I think, and then other parts about love and then lust. And it's hard to explain the movie because I think the movie is it's up for you. The movie is what you want it to be, and I think that's what he's going for. It's like this movie. I think sorry, I'm gonna cut this out where I don't sound stupid. I think Paul Tidbit's version of Madgod was, I just want to make hell my version of hell, and there's gonna be metaphors. I think as I watched the movie, I tried to pick out any metaphors that I could find. And I gotta say, if you sit there and actually pay attention and like try to really just evaluate what the fuck you're looking at and why is this dude showing me such horrific things, you know? And I think, like the best one, there was one scene where it was like a surgeon and a nurse, and there was a dude, he was fully casted, and the only thing you could see was his eye. That's the only thing you could see was his eye. And they cut this dude open. And he's fully cast, and they cut him open. He's still alive. He lives through the entire thing. It's awful to watch. And they just start taking out his organs and taking out his organs and taking out his organs. And eventually, they start taking out rubies and gold.
Oh,
and money.
money then.
And so
Yeah.
now I'm like, okay, so this is a metaphor for the America's health, like what am I trying to say? Health institution, or
Hmm.
basically just saying
The
like
health system.
a health
Yeah.
system, like, oh, we're all money, we're all money, we're all money. And then it shows them take out this weird baby that it's a human, it's clearly like a humanoid person thing that they're operating on or killing, I don't
Yeah.
know. And they take out this weird baby that's just like an amalgamation of like teeth and skin and hair. And it's like this like wormy thing, and it flips around, but it cries like a human child. And so you're sitting there and you're like, what the fuck is going on? And they take the baby, and it looks like they're done with the guy. And they take the baby to this weird, I don't know. I can't tell you anything more about that scene because it goes somewhere completely different. There's multiple characters involved with it. Oh my god! But I got to tell you, man, that was one of the most confusing movies I've ever watched, but one of the most beautiful movies I've ever watched in my life. Like, if you want a movie, so say if you're looking for a movie, it's like, man, I'm tired of these like boring ass shots, or like I want a movie that's just different, that's just so fucking unique, something I've never seen before. Go watch Madgod. Go watch Madgod. Just know you're gonna see horrible shit, but I think if you could look at that horrible shit through like a metaphorical like lens, the stuff it's saying is just beautiful. I know that probably just sounded like a mesh of words just now, but that is what the movie is. It's a mesh of images and videos and scenes, just showing how brutal life could be, I guess.
I don't know how I've never heard of this. I mean, with an experimental medium all mixed through like that, I feel like I'd hear of it at least, on Twitter or something.
No, dude. I'm telling you, this movie is... I mean, I've watched... the only way I know about this movie is through TikTok. It's because people are watching... I'm not into snuff films. I like disturbing movies because I think the disturbing movies usually have the more unique shots and cinematography. But this is a disturbing movie, but it is a... God, it's beautiful. The visuals are just insane. It took 30 years to fucking make, dude. And you can... As you're watching this, you're like, yeah, no shit, that took 30 fucking years. That would take... If they were to set me down from birth and say, Colby, make this movie, I couldn't. I couldn't make it. I don't think I would be able to. I'm not creative enough. I couldn't. Madgod is like, Paul Didvit had a vision, and he's like, no, like this is what, like, it will be the vision that I have in my head. It's like, it felt like he had no, there was no give in it.
Yeah.
There was no like, no, let's cut this corner. He's like, no, everything needs to look this way because...
I gotta find out who produced this because
Dude.
that's...
it has Guillermo del Toro fucking loves that movie. He did a...
That makes
review
sense.
on it.
I
It's
mean,
I gotta... Alex, if you ever want to watch a movie that's like, I need something that just like describes hell, or like something that's just violent, or something that's just like, gritty and dirty and mean, and it's just, but it's just beautiful at the same time. Madgod is such an unexplainable movie. I don't want to suggest it to people because I think it could scar you if you don't know what you're gonna watch. If you were just blindly watch this movie, I think you would be like, "What the fuck am I watching?" You know?
okay, so it was distributed by Shudder, like the horror movie streaming site.
Okay.
So that's interesting.
So if you want to watch it, I rented it on Amazon Prime for like $3.99. It's not bad. I want to buy the movie almost because I don't think I've never seen something like that before, and that's the only thing I know that I could watch it again. It's like scratching an itch you didn't know you had when I watched the movie. It's like wow, there's this kind of movie. Like, where's more of them? And there's not. There's just not. It kind of reminds me of Wall-E almost, which is kind of fucked up to say and weird, but
Interesting.
But Wall-E doesn't have any audio, or like it has dialogue, but very little dialogue, and it relies a lot more on the visuals, and you have to like.
Especially the beginning, before Eve gets there.
And Wall-E's a little bit more spoon-fed because it's a child's movie.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's like Madgod kind of has the same thing, except like this is a very adult movie. Like this is some adults.
Sounds like it.
It's like some adults don't even watch this movie, and like there's no like rape or anything fucked up like that. There's like one scene where like two like things are like sucking off one big thing, like bull thing, and it's just like What do we watch? What do I watch? It's just like a brief thing. It's like just in the
Yeah.
streets randomly, like just to show how chaotic life is or how it is down there. And I remember there was this one scene where there was just these two creatures. It was these two creatures, and they would fight, 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 and they were so tired. You could tell that they didn't want to fight, but they just kept doing it. And the way he explained to you, like, no, this is their life, this is their hell for eternally. These two creatures are gonna fight and fuck up each other, and they don't even want to, you know, and they just are. It's just so sad. I mean, I just. It's just little images like that, and it's that scene only lasted for like a minute, and it's like an hour and 40-minute long movie.
That's
And
interesting.
It's just so much. There's so much little things in that movie. And there's so much going on, and when you turn it on, your screen is just full. There's no inch, no pixel wasted in that movie. That's all I had to say.
I might have to watch out of curiosity, man.
I don't think maybe you won't like it as much as me. And I'm not sitting here saying for other people it's going to be some great movie, but for me that was a movie that I think I needed to watch in my life.
Yeah, I'm not big on brutalism and gore.
I'm not either.
But
I'm really not either. But go ahead, sorry.
I was just gonna say, but I mean, the way you're describing it sounds like I should at least give it a shot, and I know what I'm walking into.
It's a disturbing movie. If you watch it, I'm gonna warn you. It's a very disturbing movie. I don't know if Sterling will like it.
Oh, I'm certainly not gonna watch it with her.
Just know if you watch the movie, it's better to just do it. This is solely it's a movie you need to watch solely for yourself. Like I don't think I'd probably show Derringer, maybe in you, but like if it's somebody that I know that doesn't really see like the creativity in things, I probably wouldn't suggest the movie to them because I feel like if you watch the movie and just like watch it, like you're not trying to assess it anyway, you're really not going to get anything out of it. But I think if you sit there and you try to seek out these metaphors he's trying to lay on, or maybe come up with your own, I think you get actual value from the movie. And I really do. I really did enjoy it, honestly. As uncomfortable as it made me, as if scenes where I'm like, what the fuck am I watching right now? But it feels like he was like, oh, you think this is bad? Other people do this shit all day. This one's just more colorful, you know?
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like, I don't know. It really just shows you the grittiness and the dirtiness and the evil of sin and like how some people just do it. Everybody just does it, you know?
Yeah.
That's
interesting. I'll look into it.
I'm trying not to get hung up on it, but I'm trying to explain it to you, but it's just I can't really.
See, and that's what's interesting to me because there's a level. If it's not something you can, it's something I'm gonna have to see for myself.
Yeah,
then,
it's like one of those. It's one of those. And those things are very rare in life. Like one thing that kind of a good way to kind of describe the movie. It's like, tell me how Coca-Cola tastes, or describe to me how Dr. Pepper tastes.
No clue, buddy. You gotta
can't.
taste it.
You can't. Like, there's nothing else that tastes like Dr. Pepper or Coca-Cola. And there's no other movie that's like Madgod. So I cannot explain to you what the movie is.
All right. Well,
it's great. I really love it. I think if you watch the movie and you hate it, Alex, I think the least you could say is it was very visually stunning, because it is. I love it. I thought it was some of the best stop motion I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm interested in.
Well, there are some scenes. It's not completely like, you know how some stop motion can get a little choppy. Sometimes it is a little choppy. It's not as, you could tell he didn't like every fucking millimeter take a picture, but you could also tell it took this dude a long time to make. Like,
yeah,
dude, that was a pure work of he did that. I almost feel bad for him because you could tell that was his life's work. That movie is what he will be remembered as. That is him, you know, his memory. And it's such a weird movie, and it's such a unique movie, and it's like, not everyone's. For me, it's like Paul Tippett said, I don't give a fuck if people like it. It's like what I want to make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right back around to it, man.
Yeah, I know.
He put something out because it was what he wanted to do. It's what he had to say. It's what he had to put out into the world. And it got it got distributed by a streaming site that's really only known by horror fans.
Yeah, honestly, and
that's iffy.
Honestly, I think this movie needs to be revered. It doesn't get enough credit as it's due, and I don't even think it. I got like 4 stars on Amazon Prime. I'm just like, I could see how if a critic isn't really interested in, it's not a movie for everybody. I gotta say that.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna. If you come back and tell me you don't like it, I expect it. But I feel like if you do like the movie, I feel like you're gonna fucking love the movie. Because I loved it because it gave me something I was craving. It gave me something that I wasn't spoon fed. It doesn't do that at all. It's like, I'm not even gonna help you. It's just like, I'm showing you what I have to say. You come up with whatever the fuck you can. You know?
See, I love that. I love when, because something that a lot of art suffers from these days is, spoon feeding. Your consumers, like the people who read or watch or whatever, listen to your art, they're not stupid. And if they are, then they're not going to get your art. That's something you got to live with. Like,
Yeah.
something that blows my mind in the same vein. I'm not going to go on too far of a tangent, just real quick.
No, I've been on a tangent about Madgod for like 20 minutes.
You're good. I see this on social media all the time. They talk about a character and they're like, "How could you like this character? He did this and that and that." And then it just blows my mind. It's like, is he supposed to wear a shirt that says, "I'm the bad guy, don't do what I do"?
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man. Like, characters are written how they're written. You shouldn't have to have your hand held telling you who's the bad guy. And it's like, don't do this at home, kids. He's bad. Don't kill
Yeah.
people. That's a bad thing. It's like, come on, grow up.
I think
Understand.
Which I think what a lot of some people, I think a lot of movies end up being garbage because, what am I trying to say right now? I've completely forgot my train of thought, dude. This is what I was gonna say. I think it's some movies. I don't think they do it good enough where they try to go the whole no spoon feeding thing with the story, and sometimes it's just not executed well, and sometimes you just really don't get what's happening.
Yeah, definitely.
Like Eraserhead, like I don't know the fuck that movie's about, dude. I don't know what the fuck that message is. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's
Probably
that's one of those movies to me.
love your ugly baby. No.
I guess I don't fucking know. Why does she have? Why does that woman have big ass like cheeks? I don't get it. But like movies like that. But I think there is also a time where I want to be spoon fed. Like maybe I just want to watch Mario just hop around Mario World. Just
Yeah,
like,
there's a time and a place, but like like I said, there's a time and a place. You don't need to be spoon fed in a movie that's going for an Oscar or something like that.
I think the past couple years we've kind of been more. The spoon has definitely been bigger, and it's definitely been feeding us at more of a rate where it's like, okay, I'm not brain dead.
Exactly.
I know.
Man.
I'm not stupid. Sorry, I almost said a bad word.
But I worry that they're doing what they have to get people to understand it, because people
are getting dumb. People are stupid.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's like,
and the part of me,
you can't. Go ahead.
Because you look at what they're doing with Star Wars, bro. Everybody hates that, don't they? Like I've seen no good reviews over the new Star Wars stuff that they're doing, like Disney. And
I like The Mandalorian.
I like The Mandalorian too.
Ahsoka. I haven't seen The Acolyte.
Yeah, I heard that one was just really weird. I don't know. It got too bad of reviews for me to want to watch it.
Yeah, I'm just not particularly interested in it, but I do think a lot of it is people holding the original stuff up on too high of a pedestal. It's like,
yeah,
come on, man. Out of those first 3 movies, they're all very cheesy, and the only one I would even consider like top tier film is Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
But they're good. They're fun. They're good and fun. And I don't know. It is becoming a lot more like everything seems so generic.
Yeah,
it's everything's such a brand.
It's because we're in this remake phase, dude. We're just like, where is the new Tim Burton?
I was just talking about this recently, man.
Where's the new James Cameron? Where's the new Guillermo del Toro? These guys are all old. We need new people. And I think the new people we have right now just fucking suck. Most of them.
See, I think right now the new people we have right now aren't getting blockbusters because they're not getting financed the same way these guys were, like Spielberg and Lucas and James Cameron. They're not getting financed because they're too focused on all this nostalgia bait stuff and the sequels and all that. And I was just talking about this with one of my buddies earlier. So, Spider-Man: No Way Home, one of my favorite movies of all time. I loved it. It was a dream come true as a guy who's been a Spider-Man fan for as long as he could think,
Mm-hmm.
and it had all three of the Spider-Man in it. And it was interesting. It ruined the blockbuster film industry.
Really? Yeah, oh, yeah, I remember you telling me that. Yeah.
Everything is, everything's just begging to be a sequel or have
Yeah.
nostalgia, and I mean, we just need
I
we need something.
I think
I mean,
2025. I think honestly, dude, this little back half of 2024, we're getting some pretty good stuff. Like we got the Wild Robot,
Wild Robot. I
Long
love
Legs.
Transformers 1.
I still haven't
Uh,
seen it. I'm sorry. I need to watch. I really need to
We
watch that
Live
one.
in Time. Did I say last week on the pod that I watched a movie called We
Yeah.
Live in Time?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
did.
that movie, incredible, ripped my heart out.
Yeah. They got Long Legs. That's a great horror movie, thriller. I consider it more of a thriller, but we got some pretty good ones
There's
this
some good
year.
stuff coming out.
There is some
They,
garbage. There is some garbage in
yeah,
there.
there's always some garbage. I'm gonna go watch some garbage this
I
weekend.
thought. Go ahead.
Red One
Oh, the
with
Christmas
The
one.
Rock.
I
Yeah,
think that's gonna be like good garbage though. There's some
yeah,
garbage, but there's like the
exactly,
good garbage where it's
exactly.
like Pixels. That's kind of a garbage. But no, Pixels is a great movie. I gotta say that. It's like I know this movie's like not gonna be anything crazy. It's just I like it so much, or like I just
Yeah, I just I don't know. I think you're gonna find your artistes and your auteurs in there.
yeah,
They're not getting pushed to the forefront yet.
yeah. I just yeah. I think Hollywood's coming into. I think it's been coming into like a new shift of celebrities and all that. And I think we're gonna get new actors and the new Matthew McConaughey and all these people. But
Yeah.
you know what else I thought about? This is completely off topic, but
Hmm.
I just thought it was super interesting. We're coming up to a phase like where our kids, because I've never seen the way I look like through an iPhone when I was a child. And I'm just like, we're having all these
Yeah.
kids, and like my kid is never gonna wonder like I wonder how I looked when I walked around as a kid, or like I wonder like what I looked like, what it probably looked like to hold myself. Like I don't know how I looked like when I was walking around like as a kid, but now it's like whenever because whenever me and Cam have a child, it's like, or you and Star like make videos and everything of everything they
Yeah,
do.
I
It's just
mean,
like kids won't understand. Like I don't know what I looked like as a kid. Like I mean, you have pictures and stuff, but you're posing.
we
You
went
know?
for I feel like Gen Z is in a weird position, at least in my experience and the people I know. We didn't have home videos. Like we were post home videos, but pre smartphone
Yeah,
babies.
that was really weird.
So like
Yeah,
there just aren't really videos of us.
yeah, that is straight. Because I mean, I know Eddie's dad. Eddie's dad used to video
Oh yeah.
everything, but he was just we were just like
He was an outlier in my life.
Yeah,
Like it
I know.
wasn't.
He was like we're in between. When we were kids, like that was the in between time I think of technology, where it's like okay,
Hmm.
we have no one really like these like webcams are kind of like old now, but we don't really have a new thing. And the iPhone came out, and then everything is just videoed, and
Yeah.
everyone has high quality photos on their phone, which is that's great. Also, kind of takes away those childhood photos like magic.
Takes a little mystique of it.
And that's my
It's
issue with technology. I think the issue with unhappiness, I think technology is just ruining, maybe not ruining, it's just we're making it too easy for ourselves.
it's no, I know too much, man. It's
Yeah,
hard to be happy when when you have this much information
yeah.
at your fingertips.
But also, I don't want to be kept in the dark about things. I don't want the government to hide things
Exactly.
from me. But I don't want everything to be through an app on my phone. I don't want to touch your screen. I just want to hand you maybe some cash, maybe some actual cash, maybe like I think with the mission, we're missing the tangible stuff in life.
I don't want to FaceTime.
I'm
Call
not,
me.
and I'm not talking about material. I'm not talking about materialism, materialistic things. Like I don't want to buy a bunch of cars. It's just like I want to write on a piece of paper. Like
It's not, see, it's not even that, man. It's just everything it's so quick and it's so easy. It lacks intention.
Mhm.
To send a letter, you had to sit down, write that letter, get it, put it in an envelope, stick a stamp, put it in the mail, and then
Yeah.
wait. Now I could half asleep just be like, "Hey, what up?" Like zero intention.
I,
It
I
lacks intention, so it lacks emotion and it feels cold.
part of me in my life, I think a part of me wants to just get rid of my phone completely, but I know I can't. I know I have.
It doesn't make sense.
I can't get rid of my phone. It's just what life is now. Everyone has a phone. You have to. Like, I don't know. Like, I remember we were in Bridgeport, and we're like, is there anybody here that does not have a phone? And I was just like, he was like, it's a stupid question. Like, no one's gonna. He was like, it's a dumb question, but does anyone have a phone? And there was one dude who's like, I don't have a phone. He's like, what? Like, you left it? Like, go get it. He's like, no, I just don't have one. I was like, what are you? How? Like, you don't have like a flip phone? Or he's like, no, I don't got none of that. I was like, how do you not have any of this? This dude's
That's
just
interesting.
this dude
How
is
did you
just
get here?
living a completely different life than I am. This dude's just living. He's actually alive, you know. Like,
To an extent, bro. I mean, how does he communicate? Does he have a
I don't know.
landline?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how he talks. I don't even know who he was. I didn't even look at his face. All I heard was just him saying, "I don't have one." I don't
He's
know.
not real, bro.
He could have been one of my.
was a
He could have been one of
ghost.
my best friends or something like that, right next to me. Like, he could have been somebody I knew. Well, we can never have that guy on the podcast.
I really think that obviously, you know, you take what you can with new technological advancements, but
Hmm.
I think there was a perfect period there between convenience and emotion.
Yeah,
And now it's just the convenience has beat out intention and emotion
I think
by far.
I think the prime for technology was like 2010, maybe, and like to 2015. Once we start getting past the PlayStation 4, we start getting a little bit okay, you know.
I don't know, man. I'm thinking more like early 90s.
Really, like, you talking about pagers?
It's still the
So-
thing that bothers me is lack of intention. Like, I can decide right now I don't want to do this podcast, and then there's going to be no consequences because I could get back on in 20 seconds. Before, like, even like in the beginning of like webcams and stuff, there would be a huge consequence. I'd have to wait to get back on, and it wouldn't just be a snap, like, haha, just joking.
Yeah.
You know, there's no consequence when it's this easy. There's no consequence to being uneducated when I could look it up. I want to throw one more thing in the
Okay.
video.
Okay. You go ahead.
All right, and guys, the Plethora show is going to come out with something huge. I say the Plethora show. It's the guys involved. Plethora Productions in collaboration with Streetlight Studios. There's a project working, man. There's a project we're working on behind the scenes. It's huge. We're working really hard on it. I hope you guys like it.
Yeah.
That'll be coming, who knows, a few months, a year.
It's
Who
probably going to
cares?
be it's probably going to come out anywhere between in the next 3 to 6 months. Keep your eye out for any updates.
We're doing big things.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry, Darren could not be here, but make sure y'all go follow Darren on Instagram. Make sure you go look up all Alex's books on Amazon at Gumroad or on Gumroad. If you look it up on Amazon
Gumroad.
or Gumroad, I'm sorry. It's on Amazon. It's Norman A. Garcia, right? On Amazon. Make sure to go
Same thing
check
on
out his
Gumroad.
books. I have all the books he has ever written. For the channel, make sure you like and subscribe. We gotta keep growing, guys. I'm gonna keep pushing out content, but I need subscribers. I need people to like, share, let people know what's going on with the Plethora show and me. I
Send
guess.
this to a friend and tell them
Yeah.
to send it to a friend.
Yeah.
We'll have 1 trillion subscribers by next week.
If y'all have any suggestions for us in the video, maybe you want to see something different, maybe change something, just let us know.
Whatever you want.
Maybe if you
let
want
us
to come on
know.
the show, if you have an interesting enough life, maybe. But yeah,
Or
that's about it.
boring enough life.
Yeah, or if you're a really boring person. But anyways, that's it, guys. Thank y'all so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe. See y'all in the next
Thanks.
one.